In the very beginning, long before time had a name, there was the first realm, the realm with the dragon and the Oni, one who could create and another who could destroy. After long battles, a son was born, a hybrid of both worlds, one who would become the First Spinjitzu Master. He found a bond with the Dragon Mother, the firstborn, and together with her fire and the sun's metal, they forged the dragon armor, and he soared through the skies with the respect they had for one another. Together, they set to put an end to the devastating war and unite the realm. But there were those who would never allow it. The Oni, the mortal enemy of the dragon. The dragon and the Oni fought over which side the sun should align with, and in despair, he saw there would never be peace and abandoned them both. And doing so, he created the Realm Crystal and traversed across all the realms of creation, all except the departed realm. Along his journey, he met the 7 Source Dragons, a group of powerful cosmic dragons that exist beyond the mortal plane. They act as a council who each possessed godlike abilities to interact with the Realm Crystal, who embody abstract concepts that are fundamental to the fabric of the universe. The First Spinjitzu Master had made a promise with them. If he were to receive the elemental powers, he must promise to share them with mortals and teach them the elemental powers he would later go on to master, all except water and wind, for they were not his to command. With the seas calm and the wind still, with the realm at peace and harmony, the First Spinjitzu Master had decided to find his own inner peace. So, he had forged the 4 golden weapons of Spinjitzu at the top of the Temple of Light. Using gold from the golden peaks, he forged the Scythe of Quakes, the Nunchucks of Lightning, the Shurikens of Ice, and the Sword of Fire. But most importantly, he created the Temple of Light. And emerging from thin air, he had taken creatures from other realms to populate his new lands, most notably the Serpentine races. And for a long while, Ninjago was in harmony, and the First Spinjitzu Master had found his peace. However, he was followed into his new realm by some Oni trying to turn him to their dark side, or to kill him. After many years, the Oni had found the First Spinjitzu Master, led by 3 Oni warlords who represent vengeance, deception, and hatred. The Oni had swept across the land of Ninjago and threatened to plunge the entire realm into darkness. The Oni had created a stronghold deep in the jungles of Ninjago. All had seemed lost for the First Spinjitzu Master, until an Oni named Mistake had fallen in love with the beauty and potential of Ninjago, and she had betrayed her own kind, siding with the First Spinjitzu Master, and together they successfully pushed the Oni to return back to the First Realm. In their defeat, they left behind 3 Oni masks as a remnant of their venture into this world. But lurking in the shadows, darkness manifested to counterbalance the light and peace in the land. A draconic being manifested from this darkness, an evil spirit called the Overlord, had emerged into existence and challenged the First Spinjitzu Master in a battle for the fate of the world. A battle that had lasted too long to tell, with neither side leaning toward victory, until the Overlord had created an indestructible stone army and he gained the upper hand in this long war. In order to save the world from this darkness, the First Spinjitzu Master used his powers to split Ninjago in 2, destroying the Overlord's physical form and trapping his spirit on a dark island far away from the peaceful land of Ninjago, balancing the world of the forces of light and darkness, ensuring the Overlord could never return. The stone army was buried deep beneath the lands, and the First Spinjitzu Master had travelled to the Dark Island to hide his golden mech within the Temple of Light for the day his successor would need it, whoever that may be. One day, the First Spinjitzu Master was in a deep state of meditation, and he was blasted with a vision. he foresaw a cataclysmic event called the Coalescence, where all realms would collide, and in shock and panic, he visited the Source Dragons once again and pleaded for their aid. He urgently requested a portion of their combined dragon energy to create the Dragon Cores, which hold the power to restrict the Coalescence from occurring. Time went on, and as he aged and saw his time in the mortal realm was coming to an end, he became increasingly more aware of the evil forces that are present now and that which may arise. Those who could misuse the core's power. So, he hid one in the Mother Garden, one in the Pinnacle of Crystals, and one in the Wilderness, in order to ensure that the discovery of the cores would only be found by his descendants. He created an enchantment which was designed to ensure the spirit of the temple would only reveal the core's locations if the rightful heir may request it. Knowing the dragon cores were safely locked away, and knowing his time would soon be coming to an end, he must fulfill his promise to the Source Dragons and gifted elemental powers to selected mortals who were worthy of such abilities, making them the first generation of elemental masters and the First Spinjitzu Master's guardians. Over the course of the next 1,000 years, his time was coming to an end. He had decided to father 2 sons who would inherit his power, one resembling the spirit of each the dragon and the Oni. They would grow up to learn the art of Spinjitzu and how to harness their abilities. The First Spinjitzu Master had hoped that his 2 sons would represent the balance between creation and destruction. Since both sons had inherited the power of creation, but the Oni had a say in the fate of one son. In his blood, the eldest son, Garmadon, his soul was tainted and his elemental powers of creation was overshadowed with an overbearing power of destruction, fated to one day awaken the evil inside of him and give him an undying thirst to destroy. It was the duty of his younger brother, Wu, with the pure, untainted power of creation, the power of the dragons, to help keep Garmadon in control and suppress his evil desire. This is the story of that brother, fated for evil. This is the story of Lord Garmadon.